So the question is, what should I teach children and what should I say to the grown-ups? Should there be a difference? Luang Po answered that it's all the same for children or grown-ups. You just teach them whatever I have told you. Don't give them any delusion. Don't lead them any long way around. Just enlighten for them. Both children and grown-ups are the same. The grown-ups used to be children. Don't know how many lifetimes. And the grown-up will become children again. So enlighten for them, both children and grown-ups, now. Don't be deluded in separate anything. Even animals, or the animals, you give them the essence of enlightenment all the same. It isn't about mine or not mine. Give them that. That is the power to extinguish and empty out. To cut for them. Give them directly the enlightenment. Don't go any long way around. Don't be deluded and give them any samsara. Or I don't know how many Buddha's times there are all arahants who are children. So many of them. They become arahants since they are kids. So give them directly. There is no time to waste, to go a long way around, to go through any difficulty. So give a direct enlightenment essence to all children and grown-ups, even animals. Don't create any burden. Don't give anyone knowledge. Don't create a burden for anyone to carry the burden of knowledge. It's something that's not related to mine or not mine. To not attach or attach. It's not related to even the non-relating itself. And it won't become any burden or any problem for any children. Give something that's not cutting. It won't cut for them. And it will become a burden, a problem in their heads. If you give knowledge that is not enlightenment, it becomes garbage in their heads. And that is problem. So all the education, the teaching in every institution today, it might seem good, look good from the outside. But actually, it is adding more suffering to people, for people. It is a disease of delusive attachment, of wisdom, of opinions, ideas, meanings, the body and mind of people. It creates more cause of suffering of the body, mind and spirit of people. It looks good, but actually it is not good. It isn't about the essence of enlightenment for sentient beings, but it gives delusion of knowing. It creates the separation between worldly and spiritual as well. If it is the essence of enlightenment, there won't be a separation between worldly and spiritual, something that's not related to the non-relating itself. It is a direct cutting in the delusion, and it won't be about any worldly or spiritual. no problem to both worldly or spiritual. Now we have all the problems in both worldly and spiritual, struggled in both worlds, very stressful in both worlds, because you are not enlightened, but giving only the delusion in knowing to one another, in both worldly and spiritual. So both are void, both are useless, because they are not about enlightenment. That's why it's very messy and troublesome. It won't be any separation or any path to anywhere if it is the enlightenment. It will end, only ends. So it's up to us if we're gonna end for the children or not. Or would you like to give them something that is not end? If you give them something that is not ending, the karma will bounce back to you. You will have the pain, the suffering, the difficulty from what you have kept giving them. You have to share the karmic difficulty with them. Something that is not attached to the non-attachment itself. And what are you trying to do? Something that isn't about attached or not attached. What are you trying to do? From the worldly matter or spiritual matter, it's all ends. To live, you just keep on living, make a living. Everything is just passing on. Don't create any more delusive attachment or any problem to attach to it. Everything, every time, every second, every minute is passing. Every hour is gone, is going, is passing. Every year, keep on going and passing. It's already as it is, just the way it is. There is no condition to buy anything, even 100,000 years. That is the essence of enlightenment. There is no condition. But if it is not enlightenment, there will be condition and obligation in every second, every hour. Like in 1 hour, you have to be this way, that way, you have to do this and that. That is the condition that you have created to buy yourself. The time doesn't hold on to anyone, but everyone is trying to hold on, to grasp on to time. You cannot grasp on to something that is ever changing, that is passing all the time. If you are true to the essence of enlightenment, you will live, you will die in a way that you're not attaching, you're not identifying. Everything is passing. No obligation, no attachment. There is no condition of how you live or how you die. Something that is not related to even the non-relating itself. Something that isn't related to attach or not attached. There is no condition, no obligation, no worry. You have to give this to all beings, humans, non-humans, children or adults. Don't mislead anyone. Just keep on saying the children or grown-ups the same. Whatever you say, they listen. but make sure that you say something that ends, and it will happen accordingly. There's a question that one family has been troubles in the family for 3 years. How can they move past that? Luang Po said that you don't have to try to move past that. It is passing in itself. Just keep on recalling the reminders that I have given you. The reminders will release and soften all the feelings, everything that you have in your minds. What I have given you, the reminders, the sentences, they can solve every problem for yourself and for others. That is how you end all the problems. It is what will help end for the samsara. It can end all the problems. Those reminders. Everything, it isn't about mine or not mine. Keep on reminding. With everything, it is not related to the non-relating itself. With everything, it isn't about attached or not attached. With everything, it isn't about being deluded or not being deluded. And if you end the worry and the burden of trying to be deluded or not being deluded, you are trying not to be deluded. That is you being deluded. Being deluded in trying not to be deluded. You still have worry, still have burden in your mind. Recall, it isn't about being deluded or not being deluded. That is to end the delusion in trying to make your mind in any way. In all the practice, the delusion in practicing your body and mind, you have to listen to something that end the worry, end the burden. That is how you enlighten for one another directly. Help one another directly. Don't worry for anyone. Don't worry about anyone. If you still worry, whatever you are saying to them, it will create more problem, it will create more burden for them. If you worried, we just have to say something that help them have no more burden. No more burden in trying to practice the body, the mind. It isn't about renounce or not renounce. It doesn't have something to do with both. That is how you end the burden of trying to renounce or not renounce anything. That is how to end any path to enlightenment. Stop having obsession over trying to attain anything. In the meditation, the practice, the vipassana, contemplation or cultivation, that is to end all the burden, to attain anything in Dhamma. If you still renounce or not renounce, you still have worry, have burden in trying to attain something through meditation, vipassana or contemplation. It isn't about renounce or not renounce. Recall that it will help you end the burden, the delusion in trying to renounce or not renounce anything, end the burden and worry. Not like you say something say something to them in a way that make them create a realm of existence like heaven or Brahman, trying to have something from meditation vipassana. Practice meditation, try to take something, attain something from having wisdom. That is how you create a burden for them. If you say something that encourages them to take on meditation or trying to grasp on something in Dhamma through practice, that isn't how you help the samsara or sentient beings to end, but you make them having delusion. You are deluded in creating delusion for them. You are deluded in creating delusion for them. The question is, he thinks that somebody can become enlightened, but some cannot because of some difference. So Luang Por said, just help them cut directly, help them to end directly. Don't add on any your own opinion, any of your criticism. That is your karmic difficulty. Don't give them that. You don't have to worry for the samsara. If they have enough parami or enough perfection, don't have to worry about that. You just give them a direct enlightenment. It doesn't have anything to do with parami or perfection. To end, have nothing to do with parami. Don't have to interpret anything. It's only your own viewpoint, your own opinion. You can bless even the animals. Chicken and ducks, you can bless them. When you bless or extinguish, empty out to the samsara, the one who are receiving, the one who are blessed, don't need to know, don't need to understand anything. The karmic difficulties in all the sentient beings will be dissolved. The blessers don't worry about who they are blessing, what they are like. They just help extinguish and empty out with the power throughout all realms of existence without having to know what they are like. So don't be misleading. You don't have to separate all the sentient beings. Nibbana has nothing with parami. Emptiness has nothing to do with parami. Parami is one kind of karma. That is why a lot of beings are stuck in the highest realm. That is because of karma. Because you have a lot of parami, but you are still stuck, facing dead end in the highest realm. Because that is karma, it is not nibbana. You have to listen again. Listen to something that is true, that is not deceiving. It has nothing to do with parami. Listen to something that helped you to come to an end, to help end for one another. Something that's not related to the non-relating itself. You listen to anything, you will be according to what you have heard. You listen to something that is sensible, you become sensible. You listen to something refined, you become refined. You listen to something meaningless, you are meaningless. Something that ends, you will end. So it depends on the giver, the one who give out. If you give out something that ends, they will end. So it is up to you if you want to end for them or not. It depends on the blessers, the givers. It doesn't depend on the sentient beings or the receivers. You don't have to see if the sentient beings have enough parami or not. It is your observation itself, the way you distinguish sentient beings. That's the problem, because you are deluded. You are deluded in separating sentient beings. It has nothing to do with any groups or anything. On the 4 groups of lotus, everything has to let go of itself eventually. So all 4 groups of lotus, no matter how close or open they are, they have to let go of itself. The closing has to let go of the closing. The blooming has to let go of the blooming. The flower has to let go of the flower. So it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with all those. It has nothing to do with if sentient being has parami or not. If you are talking about having parami or not, it means that you started to try to obtain something, try to take on something, grasp onto something that is wrong. So don't think for the sentient being, just to end for sentient beings and samsara directly. Don't have to think about it. The question is, how much time do we need to become enlightened? And Paul said that just keep on blessing, keep on enlightened for the samsara, bless until there is no sentient being left in this samsara. Keep on helping the samsara to end, enlighten for them until there is none left, no sentient being left. We don't just bless our followers or our family, our friends. We don't bless just this lifetime, but keep on beyond this lifetime, beyond time. That is how you bless sentient beings timelessly. The question is, his child will go to a university soon. What should I teach them? Luang Por said that you say the same to children and grown-ups. Just give them whatever I have given you. The age that appear to be young or old isn't real. Every Buddha's time, you just end for one another. In many Buddha's times, a lot of novices become arahants. Don't separate children from grown-ups. There's nothing special. No distinction. Don't worry for one another. Family, husband, wife, don't use worry to be with one another, but release for one another. Not to use your mind to worry and add on the worry. Only soften for one another, to lessen the karmic difficulties for one another, to end for one another, to release, to liberate is the basis. Don't worry for one another. If you worry, you are adding on. That is aggravation, it's not helping. That is delusion. Do you know that all sentient beings are paying back their karma? So if you worry, you are aggravating. These are all the consequences of the past karma that we are going through. If you worried, you aggravate. So only release and liberate for one another. If you worried, or you think that you have to do this, do that, must have, must this, must that, any intention, expectation, that is aggravation. It has nothing to do with stubbornness either. Stubborn or not stubborn, you liberate and release all the same. If you think that the one who are not stubborn, that they don't have delusion, it's not right. Both having delusion. It isn't about mind or not mind. Recall that. It will soften any delusion in knowing, in separating, in using the mind. It will soften everything. Recall the sentence. You think that you are sitting still. If your mind is still, you're not deluded. It's not that. It is still delusional to sit still. You have to recall the sentence. It isn't about being still or not being still. And it will dissolve any fixation, any delusion. Don't you think that being still is not deluded? It is deluded. Use the reminder. Everything is not related to the non-relating itself. It's not related to even the non-relating itself. And it won't be about being still or not being still. It won't be about deluded or not deluded. That is the reminder that cut themselves. Use them constantly. It is up to you if you enlightened for every matter, or you want to aggravate the situation, to aggravate every problem or to cut the problem. The question is, this morning Luang Por said that don't separate Nibbana from anything, from samsara, but to go together with the work and responsibility. So he would like to know how to do it. So Luang Por said that just use the reminders that Luang Por gave you. Use the reminder to dissolve the ideas or opinions to separate things. Use the reminder. It isn't about liberated or not liberated. That is to dissolve your idea to liberate or not liberate. That is your idea to separate liberation and not liberation. So the sentence, it isn't about liberated or not liberated, will dissolve that idea, the idea that you have, and that idea separate things. So use this kind of reminders to dissolve all the ideas that separate things. Because this idea that separate, it makes you not being able to bless the samsara, because the idea separate you from the samsara. So once you use the reminders and it dissolves such idea, you will be a part of the samsara and you won't separate yourself from the samsara. That is how you bless the samsara. If you deny any karmic difficulties, you cannot bless. It isn't about having total cessation or not having total cessation. And it will end on your idea of trying to be free from all the karma or karmic difficulties. It will dissolve that idea, the idea that make you struggle, try to be free from all the karmic difficulties. It isn't about having total cessation or not having total cessation. This kind of sentence will stop all the struggle for you of trying to be liberated or not being liberated, or try to be free from all karmic difficulties. This is how you call that you not separate Nibbana from samsara. This is it. What I'm giving you, what I'm conclude for you. Just use the reminders and it will release and liberate everything, release you from all the pressure. It's not much. Normally you all assume up ideas that pressure yourself. It's all the same for everyone. Assume up opinions and ideas that pressure yourself. It's all the same all around. Because the ideas that you assume up don't dissolve themselves, but pressure. So what I have given you on the sentences will dissolve all these ideas that you assume up. It will dissolve the assumed up opinions and you won't have any more pressure. The only thing that if you are liberated or not liberated, there is a conflict, there is difficulty. So you have to dissolve such idea, the duality of liberated or not liberated, free from karma or not free from karma, free from defilements or not free from defilements. These are pressure that you're giving yourself, a struggle. And that is, once you dissolve it, use the reminders. That is how Nibbana, not separated from the samsara. This is a good question. No, clapping your hands are too much. Even make a nod your head is too much. Just recall it in your mind. It isn't about mind, and it will be a power of extinction. Having a still mind is still a realm of existence. You still fixate on it, dwell on it. That is a realm of existence, the still mind. Keep recalling all the sentences that I have given you. It will help dissolve any difference on your ideas. These ideas pressure yourself. You pressure yourself with your own opinions, your own ideas. Don't ever say that you want it to end in our generation. How about other generations? If you want everything to end in this generation, how about others? We just have to keep on blessing, helping one another to end on and on. We have to help one another forever, not just to end for yourself. Don't be deluded in trying to hold on to any ending, but to end for all beings in all realms of existence. Not just to reach for your family to come to an end, to have a total cessation, but to help every family to have total cessation. Everything, not just any particular family, not only your family, but everything, everyone. That is great compassion. You build a statue of the Buddha. What's the point? Because that is a symbol of great compassion. So have great compassion as the Buddhas. Help one another to end. Not to create such a statue of the Buddha to pay back your past karma that you have used to destroy the image. But be true to the essence. Embody the essence of the Buddha. Have great compassion and end for all sentient beings, not just for yourself. Follow the Buddha's footsteps. To think of the Buddha, to pay respect to the Buddhas, use the reminders. It isn't about attached or not attached with everything. That is how you think of the Buddha. It isn't about renounce or not renounce, not to be deluded in renounce or not renounce anything, but it isn't about renounce or not renounce. That is how you be true to Nibbana, in harmony with all sentient beings in the samsara. It won't be limited to yourself, not the matter of self. Just listen to what I'm saying. Don't try to understand. It will be overpassing the truth if you try to understand. Listen directly without interpret anything or try to understand anything. Don't add on anything. Anything that you add on have no price, have no value. Don't add on anything, just listen. You have a chance to listen to something like this. That is good. That is good already.